There. All right, there we go. Three, two, and one. Well, Mayor Zacher, welcome back. Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten to talk to you. How's it going?
Uh,
How's it
Probably
going?
about a month, isn't it?
Probably,
Probably
probably.
somewhere in
You
there.
know,
No, everything's going well. It's a year and a half. I was just talking with somebody today, and we decided there's 6 months left till the April election. So it's coming quick, but yet you want to make the best use of those 6 months and do what you can to kind of set yourself up. You don't want to think too, I don't want to think too much about reelection, in terms of the worry of it. In the
mhm.
end, you have to go after hours anyway, so you got to do your day job and spend some time afterwards, putting up signs. And I've heard there's going to be people running, which is good. I think that's the sign of a good, vibrant community. If you got people, competing for the offices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, you're appearing in this capacity as mayor, so we'll remind everybody of that before anybody starts to think that this is a re-election speech, which of course it isn't.
Of course
But
not.
as you mentioned, if you've got people that want to run, I mean, the first thing for any of this is that you actually care about what's going on in the community. Like
Yeah.
the absolute bare minimum that you have to put into a job like this, and the fact that people want to do that is, like you said, a very, very good sign for everyone.
Yeah, I think it is really good. And again, you have to think the best. You got to assume that, even if there's more to the desire than, for some than others in terms of personal gain, stuff like that, ultimately you would think they have some interest in helping their community grow to the next level and whatever that might look like, and it does change, from that's the tricky part. Like I think it's good that we changed our limit for or uh, the
Your
time that you're in from 2 years to three
term,
years
three,
term,
yep.
term, yep. And I think it is good because it does go fast and it's hard not only to get, your feet wet and really understand what's going on in order to try to make some of the changes you want, but also to just, I don't know, get the feel for like, yeah, I'm in it for the long haul and give me a chance to prove what I can do. And then also for the organization that it's not changing over every 2 years
Mhm.
and now you're starting over and you're spending more time worried about the new leader than you are worried about serving the community and making sure you're doing the best job. So
Mhm.
outside of that, the departments do a great job of just staying focused. You got good leadership in the departments and everybody's, on the right track to get their jobs done and do a good job. And I certainly am appreciative of all the people in the city that are working every day to make it run efficiently. So it is beautiful that way.
Yeah, and of course, the one thing that's really front and center for you right now is the municipal budget. Where are we at in that process? Because obviously, got to have that in place by end of November so everybody can get that great Christmas postcard in December, right?
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah, we're just starting to work on trying to communicate better. As always, it's always been my platform with the residents and businesses and what we're going to put in the envelope this year to make hopefully the most impact as you can to say, we're in it together. Uh, I mean, in the end, we are. Like I have to pay the same taxes as everybody else does, so it's not like I get a get out of jail free card or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So. Um, but the budget's it's going to be an interesting year. I'll say that much. There's been things that have happened that I've cut some of the revenue down, and of course, expenses always increase when it comes to cost of living and what everybody's getting. The unions, get theirs in advance, so then you got to worry about everybody else and what that increase is going to be. We did sign into effect a STEP program a few years ago that automatically increases certain people with their duration of time here. All that plays into some pretty big increases. So you got to make sure you can keep up with them. And right now we're gonna have to make some tough decisions to figure out how to get it to balance out. One of the big things we're looking at right now, if I can jump into it a little bit, is the EMS contracts with the surrounding areas. We got ourselves into a situation where we voted on bringing on more of the contracts over the last, probably 8 years, 10 years, but there's about four 4 years ago, and we signed down about five new communities. And lo and behold, you need more people, even though, at that time we kind of said, no, we can handle it. Again, we're a team, so it's not fire department versus city. It's we all decided together to move forward. But in the end, the call volumes just keep increasing. So eventually you need more people. And if you're going to get more people and 25% of your call volume is these contracted areas, then you kind of have to talk to the surrounding communities about what's going to be fair, what's going to be, more equitable so that the citizens of Wisconsin Rapids or the residents aren't kind of subsidizing or paying more than the contracted areas could be. So we are coming to some ideas about how to share those costs to keep it transparent, but also kind of simple. So, because we did look at a whole EMS district, talking to the state level people and try to figure out how to do that, but that's really expensive. And when
Hmm.
you're a bigger city like Wausau or Wisconsin Rapids, you have to have a certain size EMS department and fire department. So you can't necessarily duplicate that cost effectively. So anyways, a lot of conversations. Everybody's very open to talking and saying, hey, we do have to figure this out together and we do have to make it fair for everybody. And everybody gets that, but nobody loves the price tag. That's
Oh,
the hard part.
yeah, no doubt about that. And that's no different than any conversation that's been had up here because with the way that levy limits are in place, you obviously everybody's doing more with less. So combining services is something that's been discussed at pretty high levels up here as well.
Yeah.
You've got the Safer Fire District that encompasses Weston and Rib Mountain. You've got other districts. You've got a unified police department in some areas. So these are discussions that everybody is seemingly having at one level or another in the area,
Yeah.
it seems like.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, again, it's a good conversation. It's kind of revolving around saying, well, if it's a quarter, if the contracted areas are a quarter of the call volume and we're running 4 ambulances, is it possible to, if everybody basically, instead of each community hiring their own ambulance and paramedics, they basically would be sharing the costs amongst them. So I think it's a good plan. Again, it's going to take a little bit of, talking and trust. It's always kind of a trust. And I like to think like I've worked hard since I got in office of at least reaching out and talking and trying to build the trust to say, look, I know that we're not going to love the conversation, but at the same time, we have to trust that it is a conversation that has to be had, and we're doing it as fairly as possible. So I think
Mhm.
good things are to come.
Yeah. So where can we see these discussions go then from here? I mean, is there going to be some sort of meeting, public input session on all of these at some point?
Yeah, it's going to be, again, we've reached out. They're all open sessions, so we're talking to the meetings, so it's all, public information. As far as numbers go, I guess, really we got to kind of come to a consensus since it's more of a cooperative arrangement, and kind of detail out what would be in the contracts and what we'd be looking at. So yeah, it's going to be, as soon as we kind of get a feel for where the communities are at and what, we want to get into those contracts, and we got to bring it back to Wisconsin Rapids, and we got some input from them already as to
Mhm.
where they would like to see things land. So you're always going back and forth, and my job is, you get to go talk to the communities or anybody that you're contracting with, but you're also kind of negotiating and contract, with the council itself, not to
Mhm.
mention the people that are involved on the inside, like the fire department and all that. So it is a interesting juggling situation in terms of trying to get everybody on the same page. Knowing full well you can't make everybody happy all the time, but
Mhm. Yeah,
so
sounds like a lot of conversations going on at once, even in your own head.
yeah, yeah. And
Just
that's
don't
only
lose the
one,
argument, right?
yeah, that's only one of the issues going on
Yeah,
at
yeah,
one time.
exactly. Just
Yeah.
don't lose that argument if you're arguing with yourself.
Hey, I
Uh,
never lose an argument with myself.
yeah, absolutely. The it's some of the stuff coming up in the city. Obviously, as we mentioned, you've got the budget process going on right now, but you've also got some Halloween, some October themed events. What is the mayor's favorite thing to do when you're going through the haunted walkthrough at the
Yeah.
police department?
Well, it is nice. They did open it up to the broader departments, and they've done a great job over the years. And we're not trying to, you know, jump on their coattails or, be a part of it. I just said, if you want me to be there, I don't even necessarily need a table, but just to be there to say hi to people and greet them, I think would be a great thing. But the police department has always done a great job for the last couple of years of bringing people in, and I've heard great things about, bringing the kids and everybody just having a good time, even though it ends up being kind of quite a line to work with. And it's usually during trick or treat time, so sometimes it overlaps in a weird way, but yet the kids are getting candy anyway. So as long as they're getting,
Mhm.
usually
Yeah,
pretty.
just remember that the what they're telling you are eyeballs are probably just peeled grapes,
Yeah, yeah,
and the brains is just cooked spaghetti. That's all it is.
yeah. So yeah, I look forward to that, and I haven't actually seen it. It kind of developed after my kids were older. So
Mhm.
and my kids are kind of older now. We have one that just turned 14. So if she goes, she's at that age now where she'll go with some friends. We're not all hanging out
Mhm.
together anymore. So we'll
Mhm.
see how
Yeah,
that plays out.
that's
But
just embarrassing.
yeah, well,
That's just
unless you
embarrassing.
really just put a mask on and pretend you're a little kid too. So
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess the mayor could just be the Dracula right there at the door, right? I mean, pop that collar. I think you can pull that off.
yeah, are you saying I'm like a bloodsucker or?
No, I'm just saying I
Oh,
think that would be a good costume for you.
I'm kidding. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm not a huge costume dresser upper, so we'll see how it goes. But trick or treating or Halloween and trick or treating is always fun.
Yeah. And
Usually
just
fun.
remind everybody what are the hours for the city of Wisconsin Rapids for trick or
Yeah.
treating?
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think I have that in my head right now. So
Oh, hang
we'll
on.
get it to you
Where's
next time.
Emily's organized list here? It looks like you're 5 to 7 p.m. on Friday, October 31st. So you are on Halloween proper this
And
year.
there you go.
There we go. So,
Thanks for
yeah,
having that information for us.
yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, again, don't thank me. Thank Emily. She's more
Emily,
organized than you and I put together.
she does a
Uh,
great job. Yeah, I should
one,
have looked
one,
at before I started. Should have had that info.
yeah. One more thing before we let you go. This is something that actually predates your term as mayor in Wisconsin Rapids. These two proclamations here are kind of something that Mayor Blazer started Free Speech Week and Community Media Week. What do these two particular things mean to you?
Yeah, I think kind of goes without saying, free speech is what everything's based on. Granted, we'd all love it if, we could keep it cordial with each other just because we all live in the same community with each other. And I think that's kind of key to everything. But ultimately, you can say anything you want as long as you say it nicely to people and try to accomplish the common goal, which is finding common ground and moving forward. But ultimately, even if you aren't looking along those lines to build bridges, you should be able to speak your mind because again, where do you cut it off? If you start saying you can say this, but you can't say that, and it's not going to be pretty. So I fully support, having the free speech, but also having the maturity to use it wisely.
Hmm.
So, and then of course, community media. I will put a little shout out here. Wisconsin Rapids Community Media is a great thing. Taylor Hale was with us for a long time. He did just depart to go back to the Appleton area, back around family as he's starting a new family. So we appreciate everything he did. Joe Bachman is kind of running two positions right now, and we appreciate the work that he's doing to kind of fill the gaps. But we sure appreciate, the fact that we have the media here and we do what we can as we're going through this huge transition of, TV and radio and podcasts and everything that we have social media wise and finding that common ground where it is most effective since we've lost newspaper. I think newspaper was probably the best one for a long time for everybody getting the same information. So they do a great job getting information out to people and working hard to do that. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's again, you hit it right there. You being respectful, making sure that everybody doesn't lose sight of that common goal, which is to create a thriving, vibrant community. I think those are two things that probably get lost far too often. And again, if you're uh, the last one of the last people I interviewed in South Dakota, actually, on one of my last days in South Dakota before I moved here, Dusty Johnson. He's going to be running for governor of the state. Actually, was at a holiday parade in Sioux Falls, and I asked him, like, Dusty, why are you here? Like, do you why are you talking politics around the holidays, so to speak? And Dusty just goes, Mike, you got to remember, if you look them in the eye and you just don't say anything and you listen to what they're saying, a lot of the times you're going to get a better reaction out of
Oh yeah.
somebody than you might think.
Oh yeah.
Just make them feel heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
Absolutely.
yeah, that kind of sticks with you. Just make them feel heard, and you might be able to find some kind of common ground there.
Yeah, I've even gone so far. I was just talking about it earlier with Emily, actually. There's a lot of times people will come to me with issues, and as long as I listen to them and hear them out and, you know, just respect what they're saying, by the end of it, typically they'll say, you know what? Thanks for listening. Don't worry about taking care of anything. I'm fine. They
Mhm.
just wanted to be heard and kind of vent it out. So yeah, I agree. A respect goes a long ways. And
Mhm.
that's always the tricky part because like in our community, like I see respect. And granted, you got a few people here and there maybe, but I don't really see them. What I hear about is like on the national scene, all this stuff that we're supposedly hearing about. But do you ever really see it? Like I
Mhm.
never really know if we're as divided as they make us seem that we are, because it doesn't seem that way. But in the end, in our own community, great people. I enjoy meeting them and talking with them and helping them when I can. Again, as long as you listen with respect and appreciate them for their point of view, everything
Mhm.
seems to work out really well. So
Absolutely. Well, Mayor Zacher, we always appreciate the time. We'll look forward to chatting again next month.
appreciate it, Michael. Thank you.